are you located?
Right now I'm in Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
And where are you?
San Diego. Yeah.
Awesome. We'll be there in July.
Yeah, I saw that.
Excited.
That's something additional, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So Boss Latina authors are all invited to come. Two of our authors are going to be one of the guest speakers there, which is super fantastic. And I'll talk a little bit more about that too. So we can share, because it's going to be amazing. So hello, everybody. Welcome to Magnificent Monday. This is Behil Vigil, Women's Empowerment Coach with Therapeutic Empowerment. And of course, so very excited to be the editor-in-chief and one of the authors of the Boss Latinas 2021 Anthology, which is going to be launched in June and will be presented at our 2021 Business Women of Diversity Power Luncheon, which we were just talking about down in San Diego at the Hilton Bayfront. It's going to be a gorgeous event, really fun, a whole bunch of amazing women gathering over a luncheon to collaborate, to learn, to share. We'll have 4 to 5 speakers, one of which is flying in from Texas, and then 2 women who are also local to San Diego, Griselda Beck and Viviana Oropeza, and so we're super excited to have them as well. But today we have Ms. Ana Rendón joining us. Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for joining. I'm so humbled and I'm so excited to be sharing with everybody another one of our authors who have joined the Boss Latinas Anthology. Our big goal is to have 50 of us Latina women come together, and we are Latinas across the spectrum. There are some Afro Latinas joining us. I am a Spaniard and Chiricahua Apache woman. Ana, what is your background? How do you identify as Latina?
I always call myself Mexican. People will, say, "Oh no, you're Hispanic," or whatever, however they want to label me. But my dad is from Oaxaca and my mom is from Puebla. I was born in Mexico City and I was raised here in San Diego, California. So a pretty, diverse in a way.
Awesome. Yeah.
But yes.
Fantastic. Yeah, I always like to ask, because we are so diverse even within the Latin culture. So I love to always say, okay, now where are you from and what's your background like? Let's trade stories. And so thank you for sharing that with us. Our goal here today, and we are live here in the Latina Entrepreneur Jefas Unidas Facebook group to share all about who we are and what we're doing and why it's so important for us to share our stories and to talk about who we are, how we embrace our culture in every way, shape, or form, while also being entrepreneurs and sort of stepping outside of the normal realms and roles that women play within our culture. And so I want to encourage you, if you are listening to some of our interviews and you see me post and share about participating in the anthology, what I think it will do for us as individual contributors, as well as what it will do for our sisters and our nieces and our cousins and our, the women in our lives and our children and other generations of women who identify as Latin in some way, shape, or form, to tell you it's okay to own your story. It's okay to share some of the hardships and trials and tribulations of life. And when you do that, it just sets you free, for one. And two, what I really learned is that that's how we also can help uplift and up-level one another. To know that someone else has also gone through life experiences such as you had, it makes you feel like you're less alone and it makes you feel like it's okay to step up and stand out and say, you know what, this horrible thing happened to me, or you know what, this amazing thing happened to me, and you know what, I am creating this awesome business, and I am supporting my family, and I am traveling the world as, like, say, you know, some of the women who are what are they called, digital nomads, you know, like, that's awesome. So like, let's share about one another, let's get to know each other, and let's really empower each other through our storytelling by putting it into one fabulous book, which I'm so excited about. So I want to now turn it over to our special guest. Anna, tell us, what do you do? What is like your professional, your career or your business? And let's start there. So tell us, what do you do? Who are
Yes,
you?
well, I'm a mother of two. For before anything, I have a career in accounting in the accounting field. I have a bachelor's, but I mainly do bookkeeping for small business or solo entrepreneurs. Um, and on this side, I have a residential cleaning business. I'm always trying to learn more and, of course, bring different streams of income.
So you're like a lot of us. We like to do a lot of things.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
like one day I'm like, oh, like I don't have enough to do, so let me see what else can I do,
What
right?
else can I create? I know. What else can I create? Um, I love it because we do have a wide range of interests. You know, I am also a mom. My daughter just turned 8 years old on March 30th, and you know, and then we started to, her and I were kind of like, you know, just talking about like life and what we're going to do, and I asked her this morning. I said, so what is the country that you want to visit? You know, as soon as we leave California, what's the first place you want to go? You know what she says? Actually, she says, I want to go to San Diego. I said, well,
Come
San
on.
Diego is a city. We have been there. We're going there in July. You know, and then next is Hawaii. And then, you know, I said, okay, well, let's think about, you know, further, like bigger, like think
Yeah.
bigger, think global. And I like to spark that conversation in her because there are so many opportunities for us to explore out there, not only by exploring the world, but exploring ourselves within the world and what we like to do and nourishing, you know, our interests. So how long have you been doing your bookkeeping business?
Um, as self-employed, I have been doing it for I probably 3 years, like full time,
Mhm.
but I have experience about a little bit over 15 years. I start
Mm.
as a receptionist with a tax preparer, and I learned, on hands-on. And then I'm like, you know what? I like this. Let me change careers. And I was going to become a social worker. I was just transferring to
Yeah.
a state university, and I was like, you know what? No, I like this better. So it's kind
Yeah.
of like reset. Let's do this.
Nice. And it's good to follow, I think, our interests and to embrace the fear of change because that could be scary. I know when I started my business career, actually, my first job in business was as an accountant. And I don't know if I've shared that before. And I realized that I could do it, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't what I
Yeah.
loved. It takes a very special person to be an awesome accountant. So I commend you and I
Yeah.
celebrate you for being an awesome person who is like, I'm good at accounting and I really like it. Um, and when I decided to shift and to do something different, I really had no idea exactly what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to go into business in some way, shape, or form. And that was when, like, one of those turns and pivots in my life happened. That's something that I talk about in the chapter that I'm writing for the book is I came to terms with the fact that I wasn't going to continue living in the city that I loved, which was San Francisco. And I was living there doing this job, which I loved. Um, and realized that I was only, it was only 25 at the time. And I realized I'm not sure if this is what I want to do forever. I need to figure some things out. And I had just finished my MBA, and a friend of mine had a sister who super unexpectedly passed away. And so she was leaving California and going home to Dallas, Texas, and was like, I'm going to drive across country. Do you want to come? And I thought, embrace what the universe sends you. And I said to her, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I do want to come. So I left my job and I, celebrated the fact that I just finished my MBA. So like I had, a break and I had some money that I had saved up. And so I thought, all right, let's do this. And we drove across the country very close to the border. And then we went way up into the mountains and we came back down. We took forever to get there because we were not really on a time schedule. And then, I worked in IT recruiting for a little while, and that was definitely not for me. So it's good to embrace trying different things and seeing what fits. How did you come into the cleaning business? Because that's a little different from being an accountant, right?
Yeah, totally. Some of my friends were like, are you sure you're gonna do that? And I'm like, of course I'm not planning on cleaning, but like you'll know, you plan for the unexpected. I end up cleaning, and gosh, but that has helped me be so humble and kind of be so grateful for what I have and for the people that helped me, because the first times that I had to clean, I was so exhausted. Like I learned a lot of muscles that I didn't know I had because I was in so much pain. But then on the other side, like helping the families, especially for me, it's more giving with the small kids, like single parents, stuff like that, because I was there once. And now, and I know how much difference it makes, just to come to a clean house and, a little bit of something, to help them release that stress. And so, it has been like a totally mind shift. And yeah, it came unexpected. It was in the transitioning when I was going through divorce. I was so tired of going to work, having to be there all day. And I was like getting into another different things. And then, I wanted to be with my kids, because something that helped me realize that that's the life that I was living. It wasn't what I wanted. It was when I heard my son said, I love daddy more because he's with me all the time and you're working. And I was like, well, guess why you're getting all those, like explorers and all, but little kids don't know that. And I'm like, you know what? I want to be there for you. I want to be the one there. And for so long, I thought that I was not that hands-on mom. But then looking back, I was like, I have been there in a different way. Like I will be baking cupcakes at midnight for his activities.
Yeah,
of course, like those are things that they don't see, right? So anyway, I'm like, I'm not happy. One, I'm not happy on this job. I felt that it was a dead end, and I have been always not. I have always been scared of what they unknown. But then I was like, okay, I'm this age right now. Like my life is changing drastically. So then it's time for me to go for what I want. Like, and then it's like when I start asking myself, like, what does Anna likes? What does she wants? Not the husband, not the kids, you. And I couldn't answer. And it was when I'm like, okay, this is not okay. I'm not happy. And a friend from church, she was retiring. She had doing the cleaning business for over 30 years. And I just took it, I'm like, I see it as an opportunity. And I don't even know how I came out with the funds. And I'm like, I'll buy it from you. So, and there we go.
That's awesome. It's very smart thinking, because you're building your portfolio. You are diversifying your holdings. You are an accountant. You have your bookkeeping business. You have your cleaning business, and being the fact that they're completely different industries, that's definitely a good thing for you, because, well, one, I think both of the industries that you're in, I think there will always have a need for. We're always going to need accountants and bookkeepers, and we're always going to need someone to help us keep up and clean everything. I I commend you on that. That's a really, it was good thinking. Yeah, I've been there. I have been a house cleaner. It is hard. You are tired at the end of the day. I did it right out of college. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do when I finished my bachelor's degree, and I moved back home. And a cousin of mine had a friend, and her friend had her own house cleaning business. And I think working with her, I worked for as a house cleaner 2 times in my life. Well, besides, every day of our lives, right?
Right.
But when I got paid to do it, and we cleaned some of these really, really big houses, huge houses. Some of them we would go into, and you would open like the 2 double doors, and then there's like the grand piano and the foyer, and there's like 5 to 6 bedrooms. And I remember getting so angry one time because there was like gum stuck to the side of like this gorgeous couch in this gorgeous house. I'm like, how can they not take care of their things like this? I got so upset, over having to like try to get the gum off of this like gorgeous couch in this beautiful, $1 million home. And it reminded me of how, for me, as a value, something, that my parents instilled in me is really value and appreciate what you have. And don't take for granted what you have, whether it's, something really small or, whether it's something really huge. I think the other thing I learned from cleaning those houses was that if someone can work through a career or a journey or a business, and that's when I really started learning about people who owned businesses and how they were able to grow their wealth. And is when I was inside their homes, cleaning them, thinking to myself, I want a house like this someday. Mm-hmm. And then the second time that I cleaned houses was when I came back from Dallas, and I was like, okay, looking for a job, met a bunch of new people, made a bunch of new friends, and a friend of mine she was a business owner, and she was a doctor of chiropractor, and her husband was a doctor of chiropractor, and they had a little boy, and her parents would come and visit and stay. And she's like, I just can't do it all. And so again, I found myself in this position working for a woman who owned a business with a beautiful, gorgeous house. She had a Hummer that was like a root beer brown Hummer that I got to drive on occasion. They're actually really easy to drive. And it was another reminder, about how I will not give up, and I am not going to quit and give up on my dreams. Even if I am picking up little baby socks and cleaning bathrooms and doing dishes and making cafecitas for her dad, it's like we have to remember not to give up on our dreams, and that our dreams can take us in lots of different directions. I'm looking forward to hearing about like your journey and your transition in your chapter when our book comes out. What do you see for your future? Like, what's next for Anne Rendón?
As right now, I'm so happy to say that whatever is coming, it's going to be the best version of myself, because now I know that I can say I'm happy and I'm living the life, creating the life that I really want. And I see right now I'm focusing on my bookkeeping. I have been really hesitated, and for last year I even thought about leaving that field. I'm like, I'm just gonna find something else, because for some reason, this is not, I'm not feeling it. And I came across with an old friend, and he reminded me how much I love working with the business owners, that explaining them little things like the basics, but it's like those basics that they're gonna take them to something bigger. And then last month I just met with one of my first clients, and just seeing how at the beginning he had no idea of what was going on, and he was barely making it, financially, and now, he's making good money. and he said, it was because you were so patient with me. Kind of like that gave me like, and because I doubted myself so much. I'm like, maybe I'm not good enough that I'm not helping people. Maybe I'm not this good, whatever, because you see in social media all these people that offer all these great services and this and that. And I'm like, okay, maybe that's not me. And after I talking to him and saying how much and proving on paper that, oh my gosh, like, yeah, like I have helped you, have been part of your success, it and most of all is like that feeling of I have make a difference in your life, gave me that shift that I'm like, okay, I need to understand that it's different times for everyone. And now that I settle with the divorce, I'm settled with my kids, I can say I'm happy. Now it's like, okay, I'm gonna focus on my business of what I want to do, and and service and give back in a way at the same time. So
I love
yes.
it. We're going to have to talk because as my organization continues to grow into more ways that I can be of service to women and more ways that I can continue to grow. I have been doing some calendaring for accounting consultants, so that you can help me to understand, as the Boss Latina program continues to grow. I mean, who knows what it could bring? I mean, the possibilities are endless, right? And if we have the drive and we have the ability to to produce things and put them out there, to be of service, to bring people together, which is my mission, then I, my strong suit is to do those things, is to be that creative person. um, we all need someone who can manage the other elements of our businesses, especially bookkeeping and accounting. So where is your link that I can book an appointment?
I'll, you can direct message me. Yeah.
Okay. And another reason I also bring that up is because um, I think also within our culture, sometimes we are taught to not really ask for help, especially when it comes to money. Um, I had this conversation with several women recently, and then, as I was sitting there thinking about going, gosh, we all have a lot of stuff with money. Many of us come from like a poverty mindset where money, it will never be bestowed upon us because of this, that, and the other. My mission is to change that narrative for myself and for my daughter and for my family. But first, we have to start with admitting that that is an issue. And so, having this conversation with people, then we decided, let's do a talk about it. So in May, we're doing May Money Talks Mastermind for 2 weeks. So it's like, so once a day, we have one woman talking for 50 minutes at 9 in the morning Pacific time, and like a Zoom, kind of just like how you and I are doing, based on a money topic. So maybe if you are available one of the first 2 weeks in May, actually Cinco de Mayo, nobody wants to take that spot. I don't know why, but I have a 9 a.m. on Cinco de Mayo and everybody's like, yeah, I'll pick another day. Because I want to bring together more women who are comfortable talking about money and talking about how we need to manage our money, because I know I could use that help. And I know if I could use that help, how many other women can use that help but don't really want to talk about it?
And sometimes it's just the basics. People think that we have to be money gurus or, have all these assets and whatever to think about it. But no, it's like learning the behavior of money. And mostly like, I'm so happy that you mentioned the culture. It's like we hesitate, even though we know that we know our thing. It's like because we're women and some of our culture is like, no, you can't be more than a man or a guy, or like
Yeah.
the part of having to be married and have the men handle finances, all that
Mhm.
stuff. I really think that it has to stop women for achieving more than going fully potential they really can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
Yeah.
if we were, if we were raised more in a matriarchal system where how we used to be, with women really leading our tribes, who knows what we would have been able to accomplish by now if we had the support and the power behind us of our culture and our cultural identity, not the fact that we are supposed to, not be the pursuers of income and not be the heads of the household. And that, even in partnered relationships, we are an equal, with that partner. We are not subservient. So I'm glad that you brought that up. I want to be respectful of your time, and I realize that it is 3:00. So I want to thank you so very much. I really enjoy chatting with you, and I really enjoy all the Boss Latinas that come on here. I'm like, oh yay, like friend to chat with. Let's talk about like stuff. What else can we talk about? But let's definitely connect, and on the live stream, I'll make sure to send me all of your links to your businesses, like your websites or your social media links, and then how people can book an appointment with you, so that we can get more information out there. So if there's another woman watching this conversation thinking to herself, yeah, like I can absolutely take that side hustle or that thing that I love to do and turn it into a business. And here is Ana, who has a cleaning business, and she's an accountant and has a bookkeeping business, and has a family, and and for myself, Hil, like the running Magister magazine, creating the Boss Latinas Anthology, being a women's empowerment coach, creating opportunities for women to come together. Our goal really is to reach out and to tell our sisters, you can do it, and we are here as a community to tell you you can do it, and we will support you to help you get there.
Yes, and yeah, and that's something that I have learned through the years, that nothing is impossible. Like if you want it, it could happen. And now always reach out. It's way more easier with help and some kind of guidance. You don't have
So
to
is.
figure it out yourself. Like, please.
When you're tired of struggling, of trying to figure it out, that imagine how much time we could all save if we would just reach out and say, I need to have this done, but I don't know how to do it. So who can do this? So I love that. So if you are another woman out there listening to this conversation, I would love for you to consider joining our Boss Latinas Anthology. It's a book that we've decided to put together. My goal is to bring together 50 of us amazing women to tell our stories from where we began to where we are now and what we see for our future. I truly believe that by telling our stories, the ups and downs, the highs and lows, the accomplishments and the achievements, this is your time to brag about yourself. We another thing, culturally we are told, don't brag about yourself. People don't need to hear about all the great things that you do. I'm saying no. I want to hear about all of the amazing things that you have done in your life. And I want you to put it in your book, or put it in your chapter for the book, because imagine the little girl down the street reading the story when she's 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, maybe she's 17, 18 years old, and thinking to herself, I don't really know what to do with my life. And then she has a book in front of her of 50 women who are telling the stories of their lives and encouraging her to go for her dreams. I really believe it's going to be a groundbreaking publication. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, Ana, for participating and for joining. I'm so excited. And I wanted to show, I'm sending out author boxes. You got a tote bag and a bunch of cards and a bunch of mouse pads. I ran out of coffee mugs, so I'm waiting for my coffee mugs to come in so I can send the rest of my packages out. So with that, I wanted to say thank you so much for your time. And if you are interested in joining the anthology, for the other ladies listening, I'll post the link for that as well. So any final words, Ana, before we close out this afternoon?
No, thank you. Thank you for having me. And yes, I think it's very important for everyone to know that our story is important. It has taken me a long time to be more willing to share and accept and acknowledge that, you know what, yes, Anna, like it's not bad to say how a great badass you are. Like I had my son when I was 17, and I always thought, well, it was my choice, this and that. But now I look back and I was like, I have always had a choice of not having him. And then, he has autism and he's pretty healthy and independent, for somehow.
That's
And
awesome.
some of the moms will say no, like that's when I talk to them, they think that having a kid with disability will stop them. And I can come and say, like, no, that doesn't stop you. That like kind of gives you more power to keep going. So whatever you choose to, don't stop. Don't never give up. It's always a way. So yes, like come and enjoy the community, and you will always find someone to reach out and help you. You're not alone in this. So thank you
That's
for having
right. You're welcome. That's right. I am pumped up. Now I got to go finish Magistro magazine right now and continue writing our stories. So thank you again so much. And for all of the other Boss Latina and authors who have confirmed their spot, make sure that you are making your appointment so we can do our live interviews. Now that the Spring Summit has concluded, my calendar is back open, and I really would love to speak with all of you and interview you all, and to have you tell everyone about our stories and how great the book is going to be. And so thank you again so much for your time on it, and we will talk again very soon.
me. Okay, have a great day, guys.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.